Well, folks, as Donald Trump continues to declare war on American cities, it's really good to see Democrats fighting back. So many times people will say, well, what are the Democrats doing? How could the Democrats be messaging better? I think some right now are absolutely spot on and are fighting back just like they should be. Gavin Newsom is trolling Trump and exposing him for just how weak that he is. Governor Wes Moore out of Maryland is fighting back, and Governor JB Pritzker just absolutely laid down a master class in how you stand up and fight back against Donald Trump and this authoritarian regime. And so I'm going to be playing some clips here from Pritzker because this is just a master class. It truly is. And I had to feature this and talk more about it because it's so good to see someone stand there and fight back in a fair and a reasonable but a strong way. Let's play this first clip and then we'll talk more about it.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago. You are neither wanted here nor needed here. Your remarks about this effort over the last several weeks have betrayed a continuing slip in your mental faculties and are not fit for the auspicious office that you occupy. Most alarming, you seem to lack any appropriate concern as our commander-in-chief for the members of the military that you would so callously deploy as pawns in your ever more alarming grabs for power.
It truly is sickening to see Donald Trump use the military as pawns in his game. I have friends in the Guard who feel like they're being used as pawns, and they say to me, you know, I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution, and this is not doing that. And so it's just really sad to see. And it's especially sad to see him sending the Guard to places that don't need him. And I love how Pritzker just brought the facts here that Chicago doesn't need any help from Donald Trump. Take a look.
Crime is a reality we all face in this country. Public safety has been among our highest priorities since taking office. We have hired more police and given them more funding. We banned assault weapons, ghost guns, bump stocks, and high-capacity magazines. We invested historic amounts into community violence intervention programs. We listened to our local communities, to the people who live and work in the places that are most affected by crime, and asked them what they needed to help make their neighborhoods safer. Those strategies have been working. Crime is dropping in Chicago. Murders are down 32% compared to last year and nearly cut in half since 2021. Shootings are down 37% since last year and 57% from 4 years ago. Robberies are down 34% year over year. Burglaries down 21%. Motor vehicle thefts down 26%. So in case there was any doubt as to the motivation behind Trump's military occupations, take note. 13 of the top 20 cities in homicide rate have Republican governors. None of these cities is Chicago. 8 of the top 10 states with the highest homicide rates are led by Republicans. None of those states is Illinois. Memphis, Tennessee, Hattiesburg, Mississippi have higher crime rates than Chicago, and yet Donald Trump is sending troops here and not there? Ask yourself why.
Well, I can tell you the reason why you'll never see Donald Trump send the Guard to Memphis, Tennessee. That's because Tennessee's Governor Bill Lee will roll over for Donald Trump. He sent 160 Tennessee National Guard to D.C. to help Trump. So you're never going to see the National Guard roll into these red states. It's all political, and it's all so blatant. Coming from the guy who said he was going to put an end to the weaponization of government, he is absolutely weaponizing the government against any state that voted against him, against any governor that's against him, and we're just witnessing this now play out right on the national stage. But the one thing that I love that Pritzker brings across in this next clip, he tells the media, do not both sides this one, because this is not a both sides issue. Take a look.
To the members of the press who are assembled here today and listening across the country, I am asking for your courage to tell it like it is. This is not a time to pretend here that there are two sides to this story. This is not a time to fall back into the reflexive crouch that I so often see, where the authoritarian creep by this administration is ignored in favor of some horse race piece on who will be helped politically by the president's actions. Donald Trump wants to use the military to occupy a U.S. city, punish his dissidents, and score political points. If this were happening in any other country, we would have no trouble calling it what it is, a dangerous power grab.
He's so right, and I really wish that mainstream media would stop trying to normalize this kind of thing and stop trying to both sides it. You'll see headlines where it'll say, Trump sends the Guard to help crack down on crime. That's not what it is. The governor is saying, we don't need you here. Our rates are dropping. We've got control of this situation. We do not need your help. We don't need you to come here and help us crack down. So when you see headlines like that, that's the mainstream media trying to normalize and same-wash this and give some sort of both sides approach to this. And there's no two sides to the story. Donald Trump is sending the military into American cities. And if you go back and study how Hitler rose to power and the way that he went about it, sending his troops into cities to take over. And I know people say, oh, Brando, don't compare him to that. Well, if you read them like right side by side, I don't see how you can't compare the two, because that's exactly what we're seeing now. But I was so glad. This last clip here I want to share from Pritzker is spot on, and it's so good. I was like, damn, I might want to move to Illinois. I need a governor like this. Take a look.
Finally, to the Trump administration officials who are complicit in this scheme, to the public servants who have forsaken their oath to the Constitution to serve the petty whims of an arrogant little man, to any federal official who would come to Chicago and try to incite my people into violence as a pretext for something darker and more dangerous, we are watching and we are taking names. This country has survived darker periods than the one that we're going through right now. And eventually, the pendulum will swing back, maybe even next year. Donald Trump has already shown himself to have little regard for the many acolytes that he has encouraged to commit crimes on his behalf. You can delay justice for a time, but history shows you cannot prevent it from finding you eventually. If you hurt my people, nothing will stop me. Not time or political circumstance, from making sure that you face justice under our constitutional rule of law. As Dr. King once said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Humbly, I would add, it doesn't bend on its own. History tells us we often have to apply what's needed to make sure that the arc gets where it needs to go. This is one of those times.
Folks, I got to be honest. I actually got chills when he said, may I humbly add that it does not bend on its own. We're the ones that's going to have to bend it. We're the ones that's going to have to stand up and meet this moment, and we can and we will. We will get through this. I know it's a dark time, and I know a lot of people feels pretty hopeless right now, but I do believe that we will survive and come out this on the other side. But we have to bend it. We're the ones that has to bend it towards justice, because it does not bend on its own. And I want to thank y'all so much for helping me to build this platform, because when I go back and study 1930s Germany, those people didn't have cell phones in their pockets. Those people didn't have platforms they could build. They didn't have places like we have where we can build communities and come together. So we have that. And I say this so many times from the channel, but this channel, I want it to stand as a testament that we didn't fall for it, that we built this together. And I want my grandchildren to look back on this, and great-grandchildren to look back and say, well, my granddad in the 2020s, when all that was happening, he wasn't rolling with it. He wasn't normalizing it. He wasn't same-washing it. He didn't let it happen. He didn't just sit back and let it happen without putting up a fight first. And that's what we've done here on the channel. And I'm so proud to be part of this and build this together. And there's so many great creators out there and so many great networks out there that are building great communities and coming together. We can do this, and we will do this. It's just going to be a long, hard road out of here, but we can make it. And whenever someone like Pritzker stands up and fights and swings, I know we criticize the Democrats a lot, and we say that they need to be doing more and doing better. But when someone does better, give them their flowers. Stand up and applaud and get behind them, because that's what it's going to take to get us over this finish line. We can't always be fighting amongst ourselves and criticizing ourselves. When someone hits a home run, acknowledge it. And that was an absolute home run from the governor.